Yo, what's going on, and welcome back to Legacy of the Duelist. And it is time to reveal our new deck. And it is going to be a Shadal deck. So, I can kind of show what I've made here. It took a lot of packs, and yeah, I don't know. Some of these cards, like, I just couldn't get them. I couldn't get 3 of El Shadal Fusion, which is like core. But it's whatever. I think this deck is going to be plenty good. We will start with the Shadal monsters, which all of them are both flip monsters, and they have an effect when they are sent to the graveyard by a card effect. And so we have 2 Beast, which he allows you to draw through your deck. So if you send him to the graveyard with a card effect, he's going to let you draw 1 card. But if you can flip summon him, then he'll let you draw 2 and then discard 1 card. But he is level 5, so he's a little bit harder to get on the field without using Falco over here, which his flip effect allows you to summon a Shadal from your graveyard, and it summons them face down. And so then next turn you can flip them face up and get his flip effect. His other effect is when he's sent to the graveyard, you special summon him from the graveyard face down on your side of the field, so he sets himself up to do his flip effect. We also have 3 Dragon, which when this guy flips, he sends something on the opponent's side of the field back to the hand, and if he's sent to the graveyard, he destroys a spell or a trap. I would like to note that all of these, you can only use 1 of each of their effects once per turn. So like if I were to send Shadal Falco to the graveyard, he special summons himself with his graveyard effect. If I then had a different card that could flip him face up, his flip effect would not activate because he can only use 1 of his effects and he can only use it once per turn. If I had a second Shadal Falco, still would not work. Same name of card, does not work like that. Shadal Hedgehog, when you flip it, you can add a spell or trap, a Shadal spell or trap from your deck to your hand, and when it dies you can add a Shadal monster from your deck to your hand. I have 2 Squamatas, which they're flipped, they just destroy a monster on the field, and if it's sent to the graveyard, then you can send a Shadal card from your deck to the graveyard. So it's good, like, if you have him in your hand and you have a way to send something from your hand to the graveyard, then you can also get any one of your Shadal monsters effects from your deck as well by just using his effect. And then I have 1 Hound. I kind of just thought having another Shadal monster would be good, and I haven't used Hound at all. His effect, you can target a Shadal card in your graveyard, so I guess if you're starting to run low on cards, it's getting later in the game, or you already used up both your Falcos or something and you need another one back, then you can use his effect to get it back. And if he's sent to the graveyard, you can change the battle position of a monster, which this would be our way of flipping something face up if it's in face down defense. Say we have one of our monsters, we just set it on the field face down, then we can send this guy to the graveyard and flip that guy that we set face down into attack mode, which would put him face up and activate his flip effect. It says flip monster effects are not activated at this time except for Shadal monsters. So you can use it on your monsters, but if you flip one of your opponent's monsters, it's a Man-Eater Bug, his effect doesn't go off. And then we got 3 Allure of Darkness. You draw 2 cards, then banish 1 dark monster from your hand. If you don't do that, you gotta send your entire hand to the graveyard. So we got a lot of dark monsters here, so we should always have something that we can banish, and it's just free draw of 2 cards. Card destruction, really good. You can kind of just have a whole bunch of different Shadals in your hand. Use card destruction. All of them are then destroyed by a card effect, so all of their effects go off, as well as you just draw a new hand. So that one's really good in this deck. Dark Hole, just for destroying monsters on the field. El Shadal Fusion is your fusion, like Polymerization, except it's quick. It's a quick play spell, so you can use it in the battle phase. But it is important to note all the Shaddoll fusion cards, they can only be used once per turn each. So if I have 2 of these in my hand, I can only use one every turn. Then we have Foolish Burial. I can just send 1 monster from my deck to the graveyard, activate any of these guys' effects. Monster Reborn, very obvious, just a good way to go for lethal, extend your combos, whatever you're trying to do. Nef Shaddoll Fusion, you can change the attribute of one of your Shaddoll monsters. So some of these fusions down here, they require a dark monster, a wind monster, an earth monster, a water monster, a light monster. But all the Shaddolls are dark. What do? I change one of their attributes to be whatever I want to summon. And then I can also use this card during the main phase to fusion summon. But it has to involve the card that I equip this to. So I equip it to a monster, pick an attribute for that monster, and then I can fusion summon using that monster and something else. Then we have a reinforcement of the army. The only thing that this pulls is our Armageddon Knight up here, and Armageddon Knight, very similar to Foolish Burial. When he's summoned, he sends a dark monster from my deck to the graveyard. Again, activate any Shaddoll effect that I need. Shaddoll Fusion, just another fusion that I have 3 of. Obviously, it's not quick play, so I won't be able to use it in the battle phase, so I'll use this one first to fusion summon something, and then I will save my El Shaddoll fusions for during the battle phase when I'm going for lethal. Stuff like that. Shaddoll Core, it just summons a monster to the field. It becomes a monster, a trap monster, and it's dark, but it can be used as any of these attribute requirements for a Shaddoll fusion. So it can take the place of the water monster, the light monster, the earth, the wind, or the dark. And then finally, 1 Sinister Shadow Games. I can send 1 Shaddoll card from my deck to the graveyard. Again, activate any of their effects. Then I can change any number of face down Shaddolls on my field to face up defense position. So I can activate their effects if they haven't used an effect this turn. Some of the random monsters we have Fairy Tale Sleeper. It just kind of has like a random flip effect where I can special summon. I don't really use it for the flip effect. All the other monsters I have pretty much are for being a light monster to summon. Oh, how do I do that? To summon El Shaddoll Construct, which is pretty much the boss monster. And this is the issue that I had. El Shaddoll Construct in the real game, it was banned for a long time. It's no longer banned. You can now use one of them in your deck. But for some reason in this game, they decided that it should still be banned. So this is the thing that makes the deck not legal, is I'm running 3 of these, and you would only be able to run 1 in real life. But that's why I have all the light monsters. This just has an effect that could be useful, but if the light monster, Fairy Tale Snow, another thing that has an effect that I can use to flip a face-up monster face down. I could use it to get over something that has high attack but low defense. Again, it's a light. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is a good hand trap. Whenever a monster activates its effect, or a spell or trap that's already face up activates its effect, I can send this to the graveyard to destroy that card. Another light monster I can use for fusions. Curry Bandit, if I summon this during the end phase, on that turn, I can tribute it, send it to the graveyard, and then I will look at the top 5 cards of my deck. I can pick 1 spell or trap, put it in my hand, all the other 4 cards go to the graveyard. This counts as an effect that sends Shaddolls to the graveyard, so it will activate their effects as they get sent. Mathematician will send a level 4 or lower monster from my deck to the graveyard. Again, almost any Shaddoll that I want, sends it to the graveyard, get its effect. Just can't do Shaddoll Beast because it's level 5. And then when he dies, I draw a card. So he's just really good. He's also Earth, so I can use him with El Shaddoll Sheki Naga. That's what we'll go with for now. It requires an Earth. And then finally, I decided that this would be a good card to put in. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. One of my favorite old cards. You can see in its thing, it says must first be special summoned. And in parentheses, it says from the hand. That is something that Konami added to the card because it did not used to say from the hand. So you could send it to the graveyard, summon it from your graveyard, you could banish it, summon it from your banish pile, you could summon it from your hand. It was a very powerful card because it was almost impossible to kill. But to summon it, I have to banish 1 light and 1 dark monster from my graveyard. We have a whole bunch of light monsters, a whole bunch of dark monsters, and a whole bunch of ways to send things to the graveyard. So this guy is very easy to summon, and then his effects, I can target 1 monster on the field and banish it. I can't attack with this guy the turn that I do that, but his other effect is if he attacks and destroys a monster, he just gets to attack again. But that's only if he destroys the monster. And he has to attack immediately afterwards. I can't like attack with him, attack with something else, and then attack with him again. I gotta do it immediately. And then when we're looking at our extra deck, just a whole bunch of Shaddolls that do specific things. This one, neither player can special summon monsters from the hand or graveyard using spell or trap cards. El Shaddol Construct is obviously the boss monster in Shaddolls. The reason it's banned is because it's crazy. When you summon it, you just send 1 Shaddol card from your deck to the graveyard, activate that Shaddol card's effect, and when you're fighting anything that's been special summoned with El Shaddol Construct, it automatically just kills that monster, no battle damage, nothing. So it's really good against monsters that are stronger than it, and most monsters that are stronger than it have probably been special summoned. And then if this dies, all the Shaddol fusion cards, if they die, then I can add 1 Shaddol spell or trap from my graveyard to my hand. So if I use Shaddol fusion, summon Construct, this dies, I take the Shaddol fusion from my graveyard, put it back in my hand so I can reuse it next turn. The Earth one that we tried to say its name earlier, what does it do? If a special summon monster tries to activate its effect, I can negate the activation, destroy the monster, and then send a Shaddol card from my hand to the graveyard. That Shaddol card that I send will get to activate its effect. The Wind one, I can pick a monster on the field and it can't be destroyed this turn. It can't be destroyed by special summon monsters. That's it. Kind of just like there if you want to use it. It only has 200 attacks. You're probably going to be keeping it in defense. And the Dark one, which is very easy to summon because we have so many dark monsters to begin with. Each player can only special summon once per turn. This one can hurt you because if you summon it, then all of a sudden you can't special summon anymore than that once per turn. And then we just have some random good link cards that we've seen before. This guy is new. He's really good for putting in your first link slot because he has 2 arrows that point down diagonally. So I want to always play him first, and he just requires 2 monsters. He's very easy to summon. And then I can put my fusion monsters under him, as well as we're running Shaddol Construct, a link monster specifically for Shaddolls. It requires 2 flip monsters, and it has 2 arrows pointing to the side. So we kind of link these 2 together to create a full field where we can actually have a whole bunch of fusions. Not that that happens too much, but the other thing that Shaddol Construct can do is I can use its effect to fusion summon monsters, which means that I'm not wasting my 1 per turn use of Shaddol Fusion or El Shaddol Fusion or Nef Shaddol Fusion. But yeah, that's the entire deck. It took a while to go over it. If you're not familiar with Shaddolls, that was probably useful. If you are familiar with Shaddolls, you're probably bored. But that kind of explains how this deck works. And now we can go back into the campaign and use it. Looks like we are playing Crowler versus Chumley. A Magna Chumlade. Chumley entered Industrial Illusions card design contest and won, but since he hadn't passed his exams yet, Crowler only agreed to give him a recommendation if he passed his exam. Chumley hasn't passed his exams. Now what kind of school would we be to send Pegasus some flunky? If Chumley can beat me in a duel, then I'll let him go. A duel? But if he loses, he will be expelled immediately. Don't be nervous, this duel will simply affect the rest of your life. Okay. Well, are you waiting for an invitation? I got one right here, let's duel. Give me Shadal's. So it should be pretty fun to use this deck. I'm already excited for the next deck, but it is quite a ways in the future. So hopefully everyone likes this one for the time being. Because we're going to be stuck with it for a while. But I think it's a fun deck. And it's one of the like few newer decks that uses fusions a lot more. No. So, what do we have? Right now, should probably just start with Armageddon Knight, so he can send one monster to the graveyard. And what do we want to send? Because we're going first here. So we probably just want to send a Beast. Because Beast will allow us to draw a card. Which is why Beast is so good, but I only have 2 Beasts. I wish I had more, but I do not. And it keeps asking me if I want to activate El Shadal Fusion. And then we can also Foolish Burial. Do I want a Foolish Burial? I think so. And then if we Foolish Burial, we will... We don't need to send any dragons at the moment. Don't need to send Squamata. If we send this guy, we can add a Shadal to our hand. So we should probably do that. And what do we need? Probably a dragon would be really strong. Because dragon's just gonna send something back to the hand. So, oh, I already played a monster though. So I think that's gonna do it for our turn at the moment. We'll just wait and see what he does. And then next turn we can kind of pop off and do whatever we want. We do need to, if we want to summon Blackluster Soldier, we need to send a light monster to the graveyard. Okay, so the other thing to note about this is every time I fusion with this deck, it counts as sending these guys to the graveyard by card effect. Which means that I want to be fusion summoning a lot. Now I probably... What would I want to do? Because if I send Shadal Dragon to the graveyard, then I can destroy this card. But usually I would want to summon my Link monster first, so I can have more fusions. But we might just have to start fusioning now because it's not looking too great. So what I think I'm going to do is... And what are we going to summon? Is it going to be Construct? I think it is going to be Construct. So what we're going to do is we're going to battle phase. And we will just attack. And now is the time where I will activate El Shadal Fusion. And we can only summon Construct or Winda, so I think we'll summon Construct. We will drop a Falco, and then we have to drop Blackluster Soldier, unfortunately. Because we didn't get any other light monsters. But Falco now will summon himself back to the field. We'll summon Construct in attack mode up here. We'll also activate the effect of Construct. Activate the effect of Falco. We'll place Falco face down here, so next turn we can flip him, summon probably Beast from the graveyard, and I will send Dragon to the graveyard with Construct, activate Dragon's effect, Dragon will break this card. Just in case it was dangerous. What was it? And if you do special summon... That's not really a threat to me, but now we'll get a whole bunch of damage in. And you can kind of see what this deck does. It constantly sends things to the graveyard to give you effects pretty much on demand. Whatever effect you need, you just send that card to the graveyard to get its effect. And now, we can probably just flip him. Summon Beast to the field, I suppose. Actually, we'd probably be better off just summoning Dragon. So we'll flip you. Yes, please. And then we'll place Dragon because it's going to get placed face down. And... what do I want to do now? Because we don't have any more spell cards. So I kind of just want to summon Curry Bandit and use his effect to excavate. Because otherwise we're a little bit stuck at the moment without any more fusions to play. Hopefully Dragon can get over this. Oh. Nimble Momonga. That summons 2 more of them, right? If I remember. So he's gonna gain a whole lot of life. But then we'll hit him for 200 less than all the life he gains. He's pretty much just stalling at the moment, which is fine, whatever. So we'll come out behind after this turn, but we've gotten rid of all of those from his deck now. And next turn, yes, I would like to activate this. Next turn we can flip Dragon, send whatever he puts on the field back to his hand. So we don't need Rhoda because we already played Armageddon Knight. Allure of Darkness might be useful. Shaddoll Core we don't really need at the moment. Squamata we can't pick, and Hedgehog we can't pick. So I guess we just go with Allure of Darkness, because we need to draw more cards. We're missing more fusions at the moment. And we'll get Shaddoll Core's effect. Oh right, it lets us add a card from our graveyard back to our hand. And we'll also activate Hedgehog. You can see how the combos get a little bit ridiculous once you start doing this. Hedgehog's going off first, so this is going to add something to my hand. And I probably just want Squamata in my hand. And then Squamata will activate, so I can send something to the graveyard. And what I probably want to send to the graveyard is Beast. Because we haven't used the Beast effect this turn, it'll let us draw another card. Shaddoll Core activates, now we can activate Beast. Beast lets us draw a card. And now all of a sudden we have a pretty big hand, and a card destruction, and a Allure of Darkness. And another Shaddoll Fusion. And we drew Hound. Probably our best bet is to activate this first. And now... we probably aren't going to need another Falco this game, so we'll banish that. Somehow we're just not getting any more fusions. We've gone through half of our deck. Like, our deck consists of 6 fusion cards. We've gone through 23 of our 40 cards and only drawn 1 of them. So that's slightly unlucky. You can definitely put Sinister Shadow Games down. And then we can flip Dragon. Dragon will send that card back to his hand, and should probably be game at that point. Because I can summon... Let's just summon Sleeper. Keeps Quamata in our hands because we can drop it with card destruction. And there's pretty much no way we can not win right here. Because we'll attack with everything. And if he somehow could negate enough of them, then I would just El Shaddai Fusion and use my construct as the light monster, because it is a light monster itself, into another construct. I lost! I can't get my dream job! Stop that crying. It's true that you have lost this duel, but losing doesn't always mean failing. What do you mean? This duel was not to win or lose, but to prove your ability. Huh? For the talent you displayed today, how could I ever fail you? I will recommend you for the position at Industrial Illusions. So I'm not kicked out? You're graduating. Farewell and congratulations, Sumley. He's done it. We also unlocked Jaden's pack. The graduation match. Let me get a drink. Once again, Zane Truesdale proved to be the highest scoring duelist at Duel Academy, having the top rank. He had the right to choose his opponent for his graduation duel. Congrats, Zane, you've done it again. You've gotten the highest scores in the school, and you know what that means. You win the honor of being the headliner in Duel Academy's prestigious graduation match. Why, thanks. Alright, Zane. And tradition dictates that you get to pick whoever you want as your opponent. So who will it be, Zane? Who will I duel? The only one worthy. It's time to give Jaden his rematch. It was soon time for the graduation match. Jaden looks serious. That's gotta be a first. I wonder if he's nervous. He ought to be. Alright, Zane, I guess may the best duelist win. Enough small talk, let's do this. Whoa. I don't know, like, because Crowler wants Jaden to stay in Slifer, but you think that, like, Shepard would just overrule him and be like, nah, Jaden's in Obelisk. Get out of here. Because, like, how are you going to tell me... But I do think that Jaden's... Well, I guess Jaden's also a really bad student, is the other problem. So, I suppose that could be... Can you only activate one of these a turn? No, you can activate two. So if we draw another Dark Monster, then we'll be able to activate another. We did not draw another Dark Monster, so it's very scary to activate Allure of Darkness now. Because if I don't draw a Dark Monster, then I get rid of my entire hand. So what I'm gonna do instead is set El Shaddai Fusion and card destruction. Get myself a new hand and get rid of his hand, I suppose. Okay, do we have any Shaddals in the graveyard? We do not. That's a problem. But with this guy, we can add a spell or trap card from our deck. We need to use Shaddal Hedgehog more, I think. I think Shaddal Hedgehog, I underrate his flip effect, and I mostly just use him for his graveyard effect. But, so we'll set him. That'll give us another Shaddal Fusion, and hopefully next turn we will be able to make some plays. Nope. And obviously I put down the El Shaddai Fusion so it wouldn't get destroyed by card destruction. Oh boy. Good thing he didn't summon Blackluster Soldier, but I'm not sure if you can summon Blackluster Soldier. That's gonna hurt. Yes, activate his effect. Give me another... Give me a regular El Shaddai Fusion. And then... That didn't work. Definitely meant to play El Shaddai Fusion. But I don't think I could. But now we are good. So, because he has a full field and I have nothing, I will Dark Hole. Alright. When your opponent activates... So this is the other reason I put this card in my deck. because when you activate a normal spell or trap card, you contribute one other monster. The activated effect becomes change one face-up monster your opponent controls to face-down defense position, which is very annoying. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I get to choose what goes face down. That has a flip effect, and this does not. So I'm just gonna put this face down. And he can only use that effect once per turn. So, at least he got rid of one of his monsters. Now I can Shaddoll Fusion safely, though. Would there be any point to summoning this first? Target. No, that would not help me. So let's Shaddoll Fusion. And that will send Falco to the graveyard, obviously. So Falco will activate his effect, special summon himself to the field. And then once he flips, he will be able to summon another. Oh, we also get this effect, which I forgot about. So yeah, there's just gonna be a whole bunch of stuff constantly going on with Shaddolls. So he goes there. Once he flips, he'll summon a Shaddoll from our graveyard. Being as we don't have any cards at the moment, I think I'm gonna send Beast to the graveyard so I can draw a card. Yes, please. Nope. And then the effect that I can activate here is Fairy Tale Snow, which I'm probably never going to use that effect with this deck. I can see it being useful with other decks. It can resummon itself essentially by banishing 7 cards from your graveyard, field, or hand. Now I could activate this, but does that help me at all? I haven't normal summoned this turn, so I suppose what I could do is I could drop a Hedgehog and then pick a card I would like to add. What do you do? No, I don't want to do that because I already used Falco's first effect, so I can't do that. I would very much like Hedgehog. Hedgehog will allow me to add probably a Squamata. Either a Squamata or a Dragon. I think Squamata is a better bet. And we will summon Squamata. That way we can kill all of his cards this turn. We'll battle. We'll destroy his face down first with Squamata. And then Construct over Fairy Tale Sleeper. Which, as you can see, there was no battle damage there because Shaddoll Construct's effect, where it just destroys the monster before damage is applied, which is unfortunate for me at this point, but it's very good in other circumstances. Say that monster has more attack than me, I win the fight because of that. But let's see what he does. In response to him doing stuff, we can always El Shaddoll Fusion as well. Hello? I don't really know what a lot of those Cyber Dragon cards do. That's fine, probably. It seems really bad, but it's probably okay. And we draw another Falco, which is not the greatest in the world. But we can also now flip this Falco. Activate his effect. And I will bring a beast onto the graveyard. Unfortunately, it goes face down. Put him over here. And then I actually have a cool combo that I just thought of. We'll see if I can actually pull it off. We will also summon you, because why not? It is important to note that Shaddoll Falco is a tuner, but I feel like this deck is better at fusioning a lot and not really using him as a tuner. Because if he's sent to the graveyard as a tuner, then he doesn't get his effect because he's not sent to the graveyard by a card effect. It's only when I use a fusion card to send him to the graveyard that he actually gets his effect. But what do you do? Special server, blah, 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 blah. So if we can win this turn, then I don't think that card will help him. So what I want to do is I want to attack with Squamata. And then I want to attack with Construct. Now you might be like, okay, never mind. I would have lethal with just Construct being summoned here. But so the play I was going to make is I was going to El Shaddoll Fusion. And I was going to summon a Construct by using my Construct and using Squamata. I feel like this play is cooler because it would have given me a lot of extra damage. So then I get another Construct that can attack. I can activate... I guess I didn't have to send Squamata, huh? Because I was summoning a Construct, it didn't matter that I was using... I could also... This deck gets really dumb. So there, Construct went to the graveyard. So it summons an El Shaddoll Fusion, or brings back an El Shaddoll Fusion. I can't use it this turn because I already used one. Squamata, what I was gonna do with Squamata, I already said yes. So I'll use Squamata to send Dragon and do nothing with Dragon. But what I was gonna do is send Shaddoll Hound to the graveyard. Activate Hound's effect. And flip this guy face up. Which would activate his effect. And then I have to drop a card, so I'll just drop that guy. Because next turn I could summon Blackluster Soldier if I needed to. And then... what was it asking me to activate? Oh, Snow over here. So then all of a sudden I have another 5,000 damage on the field that I didn't have before. From this Construct, as well as this Beast that can now attack as well. So I think that Hound is a lot better, because when I was looking at how to make a Shaddoll deck, because I didn't know anything about Shaddolls, so I kind of like looked up what other people do, and they didn't use any Hounds, but I think one Hound is really good for getting lethal like that. Wow, Zane, you really are great. I'm gonna miss you. And you, Jaden. That's why I'm passing the torch. Once I leave here, you'll be the top student at this school. Despite your grades or your rank, you'll be the best, so make me proud. A new breed of hero. As soon as the summer was over... oh, I probably shouldn't have done this one, but we'll finish this one. As soon as the summer was over, it was the start of Jaden's second year at school at Duel Academy with one big change. Chancellor Shepard was called away for unknown reasons, so Dr. Crowler served as the acting chancellor. Aster Phoenix, not only is this superstar the top-ranked duelist in the entire world, he's joined the freshman class of our very school. With a celebrity under my tutelage, I'll be famous. After all, everyone on Earth knows Aster Phoenix. Dr. Crowler didn't realize that Aster already arrived on the island much earlier, so Crowler was left waiting at the docks. This doesn't make any sense. He's a no-show. After Aster covertly took care of some business on the island, he returned to the big city to continue dueling professionally. Aster prepared for his duel with the hottest pro duelist on the circuit, Zane Truesdale. Before the duel, Aster met with his agent, Sartorius Kumar. What's up? I wish you'd spend less time on your juvenile games and more time preparing for your duels. You're on the heels of the greatest challenge of your life. Please, you know I'll win. Yes, the cards do predict victory, however Zane is merely one step towards your true destiny. Any chance you're going to tell me what my destiny might be? No, but you shall find out in due time, and until then you must put your complete faith in me. After your battle with Zane, you will return to Duel Academy where you will challenge Jade and Yuki to a duel. But first things first, your public awaits. Yeah, I've got a big night ahead. After Aster defeated Zane, he announced his next opponent would be Jade and Yuki. Back at Duel Academy, Jaden and Aster faced off. Alright, time to loosen your tie, roll up your sleeves, and get your game on. Please, I won't even break a sweat. You're going down, man. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's do this. Unfortunately, we have to be Aster. I guess Aster's kind of cool. He doesn't know that he's evil. Are you really evil if you don't know that you're evil? Think about it. Alright, let's draw some cards. And what will we banish? I don't want to banish Beast. I guess we'll banish Hound. Like, he was cool, but not really necessary. And then we could card destruction, which kind of seems necessary right now. Because if we card destruction, then we draw a card from Beast, and unfortunately we get rid of our Ghost Ogres. But we also can send whatever we want to the graveyard, which in this case will probably be a Falco. And we'll have a chance at drawing Shaddoll Fusions. We'll activate Beast, draw a card. We'll activate Squamata. Squamata is going to send Falco to the graveyard. And then we'll activate Falco. Falco's going to face down right here. And then, so we can summon Envoy at the beginning at the moment. But, because I don't want to overplay when we can't even attack this turn, I am simply going to put Hedgehog down so we can draw, or we can grab an El Shaddoll Fusion for next turn. And then hopefully just maybe go for a one-turn lethal on him. The Warrior returning alive, huh? We did get rid of one of his Miracle Fusions, so he might just not have a whole lot to do. Oh, never mind. I lied. So he's gonna try and kill both my monsters. So we'll still get their flip effects, probably. As long as he doesn't summon an Ancient Gear Golem or something. Mudball Man! Yep, activate the effect of Falco. And I could destroy one monster, or I could draw 2 cards and discard one. I think this one's gonna be better. Unfortunately, Mudball Man will be able to kill Beast if he wants to kill Beast. But it will give me his effect because it is a new turn. Yep. And then I can use this to add 1 Shaddoll from my deck to my hand. Which is probably what I should do. So we don't have any backline to pop. Activate Hedgehog. And we can use Hedgehog to grab Falco, because next turn we're going to be fusion summoning twice probably. He places his card in the end phase, huh? No, that's okay. Alright, So, first things first, we should probably flip Hedgehog to grab a spell. We could grab Core. If we grab Neff Shaddoll Fusion, can you use cards from your hand? Using monsters from your hand, yeah. So, I think we have enough cards to use all 3 of our fusions this turn. Oh no, we probably don't want to do that though. Activate, no, that's okay. How are we gonna do this? Fairy Tale Sleeper. So we're definitely gonna be sending Dragon to the graveyard so we can pop whatever this card is. The thing is we need to link summon first. Definitely don't want to change Mudball Man to face down defense position. That seems like a bad move. And we're definitely going to summon Envoy at the beginning because he can kill both monsters for us. That way Shaddoll Construct doesn't waste her attack on a special summon monster. If we use Neff Shaddoll Fusion, are we gonna be able to Neff Shaddoll Fusion this turn? No. Maybe. No, I will not because I can't Neff Shaddoll Fusion and Link Summon this turn. So we should probably summon you. Well, we need light monsters as well. Shoot. And I don't want to use Blackluster Soldier as one of them. We could just summon Winda instead, I suppose. Okay, never mind. I got an idea. So we're going to summon Sleeper. And then we will Link Summon. And we will Link Summon Land for Hinkus? Land for Hinkus? Is that how you're supposed to say it? Put him up here. Nope. Now we will Shaddoll Fusion. And we will Shaddoll Fusion by using why can we summon this? One Earth? What? Is this an Earth or is this a light? It's a light. What? I'm very confused. Why is this something that I can summon? Wait, hold on. Oh, I totally forgot about this. Okay, so if you're wondering, if you're as confused as I was about 5 seconds ago, Shaddoll Fusion. Oh, now I can't back out of this, huh? I was really hoping I could back out once I picked a card. But so, Shaddoll Fusion, when your opponent has a special summon monster on the field, which he does in Mudball Man, then you can use Shaddoll Fusion by using cards in your deck instead of in your hand and field. So that means we could send like Beast, and then it'll force us to use Magician. I totally forgot about that. We'll put you all the way over here. activate Beast in our graveyard. Let us draw another card. Gives us another Shaddoll Fusion, which we probably won't be able to use. We already summoned this turn. We will now... Oh, I didn't drop Dragon yet. Shoot. I meant to drop a Dragon. We'll banish a Snow Ogre. And we will banish, I guess, one of the Hedgehogs. Summon BLS. All the way over here. We probably need to use this early then. Because I forgot to drop a dragon to pop his backline. If his backline is something destructive, then I could lose to it very easily. So we will use El Shaddoll Fusion. And we will use it to summon a Winda, I suppose. Oh. No, let's do a Construct, because Construct can send whatever I want to the graveyard as well. So we'll do these two, and then we'll send a Falco to the graveyard from my deck. So these are the crazy combos with the Link monsters. We will activate Construct's effect. We also activate Dragon's effect. Dragon will break that. And then Construct. What does this do if it's sent? I can add one spell or trap from my graveyard. Construct will send... Have I already used Shaddoll this, or Hedgehog this turn? I feel like I have, so I should probably just add a Shaddoll Fusion, El Shaddoll Fusion back to my hand. Right here. Alright, and now we have a very formidable field. What can I activate? No, I don't want to activate you, Snow. Stop that. So now we will use Blackluster Soldier's effect to kill both of his monsters. Yep, we will activate your effect. Nope, don't chain it with anything. Attack that guy, and that's gonna be lethal. Boom! Oh, he still has 100 life, but we still have this guy. And there is an OTK in one turn. The combos are kind of confusing, but you can see kind of what your main things that you want to send. Beast is going to let you draw more cards, and then you just like, you use whatever you need. Whatever your hand doesn't currently have, then you make use of from your deck. And I forgot about that Shaddoll Fusion working from your deck if your opponent had a special summon monster. That definitely extended our combo very slightly. Although it would have had the same outcome because I would have just El Shaddoll Fusioned in the battle phase with something that had already attacked. So I would just get free damage. Your dueling skills may not be half bad. However, there's something I have that you'll never have. Purpose. A reason to duel besides having fun. What else is there? The reason I duel is to bring justice to the world by punishing people who think they're above the law. Come again? I'm guessing you need an explanation. My father was a duelist too. He worked as a card designer for Maximilian Pegasus. My dad put his heart into every design he created. He was my hero. What happened? Some punk took him away. He broke into our house and now he's gone. That's awful. Hold up. Did your dad design? That's right. My father created the Destiny Heroes. They were the last cards he ever made. My father taught me that justice would always prevail. But he was wrong. Justice is a lie. They still haven't found my dad, and whoever took him away is still out there. I duel to bring lawbreakers to justice, and in honor of my father, I use the very cards he created to punish those evildoers. And someday I'm gonna find the scum that kidnapped my father and make him pay for what he did. I'll know him as soon as I see him because he'll have a rare card. The one he stole when he took my dad. It was the last card my father made. Whoever has it is gonna regret the day he was born. What an odd story. But either way, that is gonna do it for this one. Hopefully you like the Shadal deck. We're gonna have it for at least the rest of this series, so unless someone tells me that they want to see something else, it's gonna be here for the rest of this series. It wins pretty quickly, although its combos take kind of a long time. But I have a lot of fun with it. I think it's cool because I have so many options, and once you like I feel like I have an okay understanding of what each of the cards do, so I can be like, this is the card I need here, without having to read every single card every time I try and do something. But we'll get even better and faster at playing our deck. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time.